Hood lifts are definitely underrated.
As you just saw on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a set of hood lifts that I just installed on my 2019 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Hood lifts are a super simple product that you can add to any Jeep Wrangler JL or Gladiator JT. In fact, they actually make hood lifts for the Wrangler JKs, which are the older versions of the JL. But on today's video, we're going to mainly be looking at a set that can only be installed on the JLs and the JTs. Hood lifts have been in the market for quite some time, and in fact, they actually came out when the Wrangler JKs were in production. I've seen them, always thought they were a clever idea, but to be honest, I've never felt the need to go ahead and purchase a set. And the reason is because I figured I could easily just lift the hood up by myself. I didn't really feel the need to have some assistant struts to help with that. But now that I have installed a set and have been using them for the last couple weeks, I have to say, I would 100% recommend hood lifts as one of the first modifications to any new Jeep owners. The reason is because it makes it super easy to open up the hood to work on your engine. All you have to do now is simply go ahead to the sides of the hood, undo the latches, then go to the center of the hood, press down a little bit, and then undo the safety latch, and then just let the hood rise up. There's no more need to lift the hood, pull down the prop hood, put it into the hole. It's just a lot easier to open them up. And because you don't have the prop hood here, it actually means you have no longer an obstruction here, and you no longer have to worry about hitting that hood prop and having the hood fall down. So not only does it make it easier to open, but it also makes it easier to work on the engine. And to close the hood, that's also super easy. All you have to do is pull down. So really nice, and then clip it in. Yeah, I'm super impressed by them. And as I said, I never felt the need before, but now I would probably put hood struts on any Jeep I own. So going forward, I'll probably get a set for every Jeep that I end up buying. The hood lifts that I end up purchasing are from Amazon, or I didn't end up purchasing, they ended up sending me them. And the ones are from Amazon, and it's from a brand called right there. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that because I will butcher them. These hood lifts go for about $30, and based on that price, and when you compare them to some of the other ones in the market, $30 is actually pretty cheap. And I have to say, even though they're cheap, they're actually pretty good. They seem to do the job. Installing them was easy, and I definitely think they're worth the investment. You know, $30 isn't that bad. I do want to show you guys how to install them. So what we're actually going to do now is we're actually going to go back in time and check out how the installation went down and how I put them on the Jeep.
So the first step of the installation is to install the base plates for the hood lifts. To do this, you're going to remove the 10mm bolt that's located at the base of the hood. This bolt is designed to hold the quarter panel to the body. Once that bolt's removed, you can then position the new bracket in that location and then go ahead and secure it using the factory 10mm bolt. You're going to complete this on one side and then go ahead and do it on the other side. Once both base plates have been installed, the next part is to install the hood connection pins. To do this, what you're going to go ahead and do is remove the push connecting plug that holds the liner in place in this location right here. Once that's been removed, you're then going to take the hood connection pin bolt and the rod with the two nutserts taped on either end. You're going to slide the rod up inside the hood, going through the hole located right here. Once that's in place, you're then going to take the hood connection pin and slide it into the hole where we removed the plug. The goal here is to connect the hood pin to the nut insert that's on the end of the rod. Luckily for myself, on this side, it connected right away, which was super convenient. Once you made that connection, all you're then going to go ahead and do is tighten it up with a wrench. Once it is tight, you can then go ahead and pull on the rod, which is going to disconnect from the nut insert. After you complete this side, you're then going to go ahead and do the same process on the other side. Unfortunately for myself, as you can see here, this side did not go as smooth. It definitely took me a lot longer to make the connection between the nut insert and the hood pin. For this side, I had to bend the rod a couple times to relocate the nut insert and just fiddle with it around a couple times. Eventually, I did get it. And then once I had it connected, all I did was tighten it up with a wrench and then pull the rod out as I did on the other side. Once both the base plate and the hood pins have been secured in place, the next part is to simply go ahead and install the hood lifts. For this, you're going to take the end with the ring on it and you're going to slide it over the knob that's on the base plate. Once on that base plate, you're then going to secure it with the locking pin. Once both sides are installed, the final step is to simply take the other end of the hood lift and connect it to the hood pin. This is super simple to do. All you have to do is simply push it onto the pin and it clips on. You're going to repeat the process on both sides, and then you can go ahead and close the hood.
So guys, as you can see, to install the hood struts is pretty straightforward. Overall, it probably took me about 15 to 30 minutes, and that did include the time required to set up the cameras. The hardest part to the installation is definitely the part where you have to get the nut insert for the bolt that holds the top of the strut. This is a little bit difficult because you do have to fish the rod up with the nut insert in behind the hood and then get the bolt to catch. One side went on easy for myself, and then the other side was a little bit more challenging. If you're lucky, both sides go on easy, and then you'll probably have this installation done in less than 15 minutes. If you get unlucky, it could probably take you an hour to do and probably be super frustrating. So it kind of could go lucky or could go bad. It's kind of a weird thing. And that part of the installation is a little bit of downfall, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. Besides that little part, the rest of the installation was easy. All you had to do was put this little bracket on, undo the bolt, put the bolt on, and then put the hood strut on. The bottom, you just clip it in, put the lock clip there, and then clip the top in. Very straightforward, and honestly, anyone could do it with some easy tools. The hood strut itself is pretty good. I have to say, it looks good. It's nice and clean. In terms of its strength, it definitely has the capability to hold the hood, and it's not too hard to hold. For maybe a young teen or thing, it might be a little difficult, so maybe it's a little strong, but it definitely does the job. It also prevents the hood from blowing open, so I do like that. Couple comments I do have for it. First one has to do with the strut. So some of the other struts that are in the market actually have a quick disconnect switch right here. It's a little red switch, and you just simply turn it one way and then it pops off. This one doesn't have it. I definitely would have liked to have had it, because there are definitely gonna be times when you're doing something in the engine and you actually want to fold the hood all the way back. So it would be really nice to have the ability to simply pop that. That doesn't mean you can't get it off. You can actually get it off by undoing the little spring clip here. You just take a pair of pliers and you slide it off, and then you would be able to pop it off. So it's not that it's not possible, it's just that it's gonna take you slightly longer to do so. So that is my first comment about that. The second comment I have has to do with the installation and putting that insert in. So the way they designed that is, what they did is they took their nut insert and simply taped it to a rod. It's designed so that when you're sliding it up, you get it on there, you get it tight, and then you just pull the rod out. This is great, it's effective, but where I think there's a little bit of downfall is, say you're doing this and that nut insert falls off and it's not tight yet, there's no way to tighten it, because you're not gonna be able to get in behind to clip on or hold on to that clip. So I really didn't like that. It was a little bit concerning when I was doing it. And then, because of the way it's designed and the fact that you pull out the rod and then you have no way to grab it, once you have this on, there's no way to get it off. If that gets loose, there's no way to tighten it. If you buy a new Jeep and you want to use these hood struts on something else, There's no way to take them off. So this kit is kind of one of those, like, once you put it on, it's always on. So that's one little thing I don't like, but I do understand why they did it. If they wanted to, what they could have done is simply, you know, taken like a metal rod or a metal piece, welded a bolt onto it, and then had it so that the metal rod was always pointing out, but that would have added cost. This is probably the most cost-effective way that keeps the cost of the product a little lower. So that's exactly why they probably went ahead and did that, is they just didn't want the cost of the product to be a little more. That is also probably why they don't have the quick release switch on here or the trigger on here. If they had that, this strut probably would have cost a little bit more, and that would have added to the cost. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly strut or hood strut to add to your vehicle, this is definitely one to check out because it does everything you need, looks super clean, it's super functional, and it doesn't break the bank. So definitely something to check it out. As I mentioned, I'm gonna put the links below that you can check out, links below or up here, wherever. Click on those if you wanna pick one up. If you have any questions or comments about the hood struts, feel free to hit me up. As I said, this was gonna be a super simple video because it's a super product. But as I mentioned, after using these, I definitely recommend these as one of the first mods for any Jeep owner. At this time, guys, I am gonna wrap this video up. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving, and we'll see you guys on the next video.